Drew, hey, turning to a story we've been following since the beginning. Over the weekend, wrongfully deported Maryland man Kilmar Abrego Garcia was moved from a Virginia detention facility to one in Pennsylvania.
Immigration officials say the move was to give Abrego Garcia's lawyers more access, easier access to him. But his attorneys are raising some concerns about the transfer. This morning, we are joined by Alexandra Ribe. She is one of the attorneys for Abrego Garcia and a senior partner at Osorio PLLC. Thank you so much for joining us, Alexandra. What do you make of the argument that, hey, we're moving him so you all have easier access to him?
I mean, I think it should be alarming to everybody that there wasn't easier access at the Farmville detention facility, which is in Virginia. At the end of the day, this is the immigrant population. Many of them are in active court proceedings, and they should all have easy access to their attorneys, regardless of where they're held. And then the bigger issue, I think, that the government fails to acknowledge is why are they holding him in the first place? At the end of the day, this isn't supposed to be punitive. He's only supposed to be held if there's a reasonable possibility that he's going to be deported in the near future, which the government hasn't shown. And there's no other reason to hold him. He lived in the United States for over a decade without a criminal record. I can't imagine that he's a flight risk given the eyes put on this case. And so the fact that he has easier access to counsel is really actually troubling for a lot of reasons, should be troubling for society and all immigration attorneys, because we should have access to our clients no matter which immigration detention facility they're located in.
So where are you in this legal fight since you say he's being detained wrongly?
Correct. So there's kind of two moving parts at the same time. Our team has filed a motion to reopen such that we can relitigate his asylum case. Now, there's obviously been some new developments since he was wrongfully deported to CCOT. He also has other relief available to him because of his U.S. citizen wife and U.S. citizen children. So we have filed a motion to reopen his immigration court proceedings, and we're waiting for a decision on that. Obviously, the government has opposed. We're also in the middle of a habeas corpus petition arguing that in district court that he is being wrongfully detained. He shouldn't be detained, and he actually should at least have the ability to have a bond hearing or be released.
How does this detention facility in Pennsylvania compare to the one he had been here in Virginia?
I mean, there's over the summer, there was a lot of eyes put on this particular detention facility because I believe that there was some reporting about one of the immigrants who actually passed away or died in that facility. I mean, I think that there is, I think that across the country, there is a serious issue of, we have to understand that these are people that are not being detained criminally. Okay, they're not being detained criminally. They don't have pending criminal convictions. Many of them are being detained for an indefinite period of time. Kilmar's not set. He's not serving a sentence. The people in the Farmville detention facility or the Moshannon detention facility, they're not serving a sentence. They're just waiting for their immigration court proceedings to play out. And in the meantime, what we're hearing are reports of unsanitary conditions, solitary confinement being used as a form of punishment, really hastily, people being handcuffed, as they walk from one place to the next. And it's just, especially in this climate where the population should really understand that there's been bond for immigrants is almost impossible to get in many scenarios. So these are many individuals, Kilmar amongst them, but many individuals like Kilmar who lived in the United States for many, many years with no criminal record, and they're there for an indefinite period of time. And yes, I've definitely also read the news and heard that the conditions there are far from pleasant, and in many cases much worse than in a criminal detention facility where people are actually serving for a criminal sentence.
If we can pull out for just a moment, do you have any idea how many people are currently being detained in the country? And what sort of message would you have for people who think that that's a good thing? Because clearly you don't. You're representing your client.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, detention, again, is not supposed to be punitive. I have personally no real problem with detaining somebody if they're determined to be a flight risk or a danger to the community. What the public needs to know is currently under this administration, we are detaining everybody who the government thinks might be deportable for either they have status and they think that they're deportable, or individuals who have lived here for many, many, many years with no criminal record, just walking down the street. And the result is that people are paranoid about walking down the street because they can get picked up and then they will have no access to a bond whatsoever and they'll just be detained indefinitely. And the messaging absolutely is for people to give up. The government wants people to give up, and that's why they're detaining them in these conditions that everybody knows are abhorrent. If somebody actually was a danger to the community, had a criminal record, or was a flight risk, like there was some reason to believe that they wouldn't show up to criminal custody, absolutely, let's detain them. But that is not what's happening here.
All right, Alexandra Ribe, attorney for Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Alexandra, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.